Probably tilt that down a little bit. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hope you're all having a good day, week. Yeah, I don't have a particular reason for this. This is just what you get. I need to adjust that. Yes, Charleston, I'm sorry. I was running late getting here. I was just trying to get everything lined up and set up and get myself my beverage and all that lovely stuff. And yes, still fits, which is nice. A lot of my old stuff, especially stuff that I was performing in, doesn't fit very well anymore. So I wish I could say it's all now too small, but sadly the opposite is the case. Vera Prince. Thank you, Rowan. How's the lockdown on Themyscira? Well, you know, we just kept everybody off the island so we can still be within 6 feet of each other. So we're still wrestling for fun. Nice hair. Yeah, right? I have not worn a wig. I do not remember the last time I put a wig on for anything than more like 20 seconds. So it's a little odd. It's been a while. So yes, I don't have a particular. I'm gonna have to adjust the. I might fiddle with this, or I might actually ditch the wig at some point in this whole thing. But I don't have any particular theme for this one. But it is Trans Awareness Week, so I did put that up in the live stream. So be aware of me. Thank you. I haven't worn a wig since I was in Cats 10 years ago. Oh my! I can only imagine what that was like. Oh, didn't tell us Gal Gadot was guest starring. Okay, now, I mean, it's not even the right outfit for her version. In addition to Doctor in Distress, you should watch and react to John Pertwee's Who is the Doctor? It's great. I'm afraid to find out what that is. My new sweater is coming in tomorrow. It's the first feminine piece of clothing I've bought. Oh, that's nice. I hope it fits well. There are a few things as frustrating as really looking forward to something, and then it shows up and it's like, this doesn't fit the way I wanted it to. Especially with your first thing, that can happen a lot as you're still figuring out sizes. Wrestling for strictly educational purposes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very, very educational. You are the visible personification of absolute perfection. Oh. Thank you, Ben. Hold on. I was missing something. I wasn't sure what it was at first. There we go. I'm not going to stay long here, but I love your Wonder Woman getup. I have to help my family take care of my dad since his recent hospitalization for a minor stroke, but he's better. I'm glad he's doing better, Rebecca. So I hope the recovery goes well. Happy Trans Awareness Week. Thank you very much. Are you aware of me? You want to know what's something funny? As things develop, you kind of lose track of them. I came across a picture that I'd taken of myself 2 years ago. So this would have been before I was on estrogen. And like I had a little breast development, but looking at that and looking at myself now, I'm like, oh, dang. Woo. Uh, having any water? And what I have is warm apple cider because it's the season for that as far as I'm concerned. Possibly with other things in it. Once we get into December, I might switch over to hot cocoa with peppermint schnapps. Who said that? This one strand keeps going directly down my cleavage. Oh, my goodness. Finally got Crave, so gonna watch season 12. Okay, that's great. Of what? I'm not sure. I don't know what's on Crave, so I don't know where to go with that. Random question: can you do a handstand? I can't. I was never able to hold it. I can cartwheel, and I can still do that. But no, I could never do a handstand. It's basically John Pertwee reciting a poem about being the doctor over an instrumental of the theme tune. So it's like he's channeling William Shatner's spoken word albums. Which Doctor Who episode would you love to rewrite and make better? I don't know. I'd have to think back on the ones that like had promise but failed. I can't come up with them off the top of my head. Have you seen Marco Polo yet? No, I have not seen that one yet. Haven't seen that Doctor Who story. What are your thoughts on Full House? It was a show that existed. I never watched it. I have no nostalgia for it. It's very of the time it was made. Let's leave it at that. Dang, how are you able to cram the invisible airplane into the shot? With great care. You'd be surprised what I could cram into things. No, I don't know. Nope, stop. Don't go down that road. I swear that ring is what gives you your power. We could say things we are thankful for, like last year around this time. We could. I'm just oddly worried about doing it just because I know so much has been so rough. I'm worried that like at some point someone's gonna pull a sarcastic, oh, not really, haha one, and it's gonna spiral. But if people want to share those things, it would certainly be very welcome. And I mean, hold on, let me just check something here. Hang on. Oh yeah, we could have done that because this will be the last live stream in November, which is when Thanksgiving is in the U.S. anyways. Vera, I'm very aware of you. Oh, good to know. How do I get into pickles? Well, I mean, assuming you can get the jar open, they're pretty easy to get into. Season 12 of Doctor Who. That's what I thought you meant, but again, I didn't know what Crave was. So, how far are you into the Owl House? Only about 5 episodes, because I'm watching it with my daughter. So when she's not here, I'm not making progress in it. Been watching The Mandalorian? No, I said before that I wasn't going to, and I'm sticking to that. I'm not saying that I'll never watch it, but I'm not comfortable. I don't feel okay watching it right now, so no, I'm not. How are you handling the trauma of watching Howard the Duck? In my own way. May I recommend Liquid Death? It's a mountain water company. It's fun because they make the cans look as much like beer as possible. Interesting. Favorite song from a movie that's not a musical? So, That's kind of tough for me because I'm assuming it would still have to be something written for the movie because otherwise it's just pulling, a song and sticking it on a soundtrack. And that's not, I assume that's not what you mean. And I'm kind of drawing a blank. I would have to like think of possibilities and options for that. And that always bothers me. Like sometimes you folks ask like really good questions, but they're things that I would have to think about for a while, and I might just kind of sit here and have you watch me think, especially knowing how rambly and off the rails my thought train is anyways. You could write Hellbent better. Well, no, the only way to write Hellbent better is to not write it. Seriously. And I'm not just saying that to be snarky. No. Supernatural got worse for me. I was already annoyed about the Bury Your Gays, but then they did my favorite character, Lucifer, a total disservice. Poor Satan. Oh, that's a shame. Do you like Kinda or Snake Dance, or Kinda or Snake Dance better? I haven't seen either one, so... Have you watched the Tom and Jerry movie trailer that released today? I did, actually. Somebody tagged me that on Twitter. Looked fine. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It looks stupid. They're doing the let's put them in the real world, but like they're smart enough not to try and make Tom and Jerry themselves actually look real. They're not pulling a Garfield or a Alvin and the Chipmunks or any of that. They're letting them look like cartoons. So visually it feels, even though they're on the shots where they're not moving and they zoom in, like you can tell it's 3D animation. It's not 2D hand drawn, but it evokes 2D hand drawn much better. Right down the cleavage again. So like, I don't know how you get a full movie out of Tom and Jerry. I just don't. But I mean, it seemed fine. It's kind of all I got. I was expecting more pain than I got out of it. Have you ever been to Disney World or Disneyland? I've never been to Disneyland. I've been to Disney World twice in my life. Once as a kid, once as an adult. Both good times. Don't watch much Overdue and Take Two reviews, but I'm going to watch Hellbent 100%. Oh, yeah, that's... we're getting there. We're getting close to that one. Of course, the thing is, I've already shot it, but you folks have to wait for it. Imagine a Doctor Who two-parter called The Idle Brain and the Devil's Playground. Music Man reference. Oh. How is The Owl House? It's good. Like, the pitch on it feels like Harry Potter by way of Gravity Falls. Let's see. So I'm strongly considering checking out Star Trek, but not sure where to start. Oh my gosh. Like, you think it's hard to figure out where to start on Doctor Who? Star Trek... here's part of the problem with Star Trek is even the good shows of Star Trek, most of them have weak starts. So like Star Trek The Next Generation is brilliant. That first season is rough. It's tough going for that first one. Honestly, the first two seasons are a little touch and go, but that first one especially. So any version of Star Trek you try and get into, you're gonna have to be prepared to make a commitment. Unfortunately, because I haven't seen, like, say, Star Trek Discovery, so I don't know how much that banks on pre-existing knowledge or even how good it is. I don't know whether I can recommend that one. And like I said, Next Generation has its issues. I don't know where you would start. A friend read one of my scripts, got a little sigh of relief when he laughed at the jokes. That's always a big source of tension, isn't it? When somebody reads or watches something of yours that's supposed to be funny, he's like, oh God, please laugh, please laugh, please laugh, please. It's like from Sandman at the cereal convention where I think it was Nimrod. He gets up and he like tells a joke in front of this crowd, and his inner monologue is all laugh, laugh, you bastards, or I swear to God, I'll burn this place to the ground, I'll murder. And then they laugh. He's like, oh. So it is a little bit like that. Have to thank you for your series where you talk to various groups within the LGBTQ plus community about their representation. Thank you. I do want to get back to that in terms of actually bringing people on, because it's been a little while, because I've done it with non-binary and asexual and bisexual, and I would like to do that with some other specific segments of the LGBTQ plus community. It's just I'm juggling so much right now that organizing these things is always kind of tough. Have you seen the new images of Doctor Who Series 13 filming? I haven't, and I rarely care about production photos. So, do you consider yourself a sexy diva? On a good day. Would you ever do a top 10 TV shows or movies? No. No, it's too broad. It's why I categorize things. It's why even when I do Doctor Who top 10s, I have to do like top 10 of this specific doctor, top 10 from this specific writer, top 10 funny, top 10 scary. Like, there's just too much. So, like, the idea of just top 10 greatest movies, like, no. No, I couldn't. I'd have thought, since it's your favorite movie, Ghostbusters might have been your favorite song that's not a musical. Funny thing, that song, while I enjoy its use in the movie, it's not something I ever really listened to outside the context of the film or the cartoon. So, like, that's a fair guess, but no, not really. Ooh, you know what would be in the running? Cry Little Sister from Lost Boys. That would have a shot at it. Man, Lorraine McFly is a freak. First she wants to talk First she wants to get with her son from the future, then an alien duck with boobs. Well, to be fair, Howard didn't have boobs. Other ducks from his planet did. I don't know why, but ooh. I just gave Big Finish even more of my money and bought all the John Hurt War Doctor box sets. At some point, I'll probably try another one of those, see if I like it any better. I really didn't like the first one that he was in that much. Not that it was bad, but I was just very underwhelmed. Especially because I'd listened to the War Master first, and that was great. That was phenomenal. With the 60th anniversary coming in a few years, which previous Doctors would you like to see return? Oh my God, I swear I get asked this every time now. I would really love to see Eccleston come back, and McCoy is the other one I really like, and then I would like them to get Ace in there for a returning companion. If All Dogs Go to Heaven ever makes it to Broadway, you should play Charlie. You can't keep a good dog down. Well, I could probably sing better than Burt Reynolds at any rate. Let me be surprised. Have you ever heard the thing about the Doctor being revealed as bi? Well, I would think that for Time Lords and Gallifreyans, with the way that regeneration works, I would think that they, for lack of a better way to put this, like, don't really see gender. So, what would, like, saying the Doctor is bi, I feel like is like saying me that I'm gay, saying that I'm gay or straight. Like, things fluctuate. They don't stay consistent. So, like, what does that even mean relative to what my existence is? And I kind of feel the same way about the Doctor. And also, like, I don't want the Doctor to be in love. I never have. I never do. Like, it was okay when it was John Smith. David Tennant is John Smith, but like, I don't want the Doctor to have romantic entanglements. So even if it ends up being queer rep, I don't want it. I don't want that from this character. I'm part of a drama troupe that is thinking of hosting auditions on Zoom, getting the chosen cast tested and streaming the show live with an entry fee. Best of luck. I do have some friends that have done either some theater related or some burlesque performance related things online through Zoom and things like that. So it can be done. What is one character you would love the Doctor to meet or face in 2020? Could be a historical figure, or completely made up character or villain. I don't know. I don't sit around and do that kind of fan imagining, speculation, fanficky conception kind of thing. I just don't do it. It's just not how I use my time. So people ask me these questions and they're good questions. I'm just the wrong person to be asking. I don't spend a lot of time imagining what I want or what I wish I had out of a show like Doctor Who. I spend most of my time going, I wonder what I'll get. Not actively trying to figure it out or get ahead of it, just like, I'll have my opinion when I see it, is kind of how I approach these things. I don't know. That's not to say I have no expectations, but they don't get specific. Thank you, Stephen. Glad you like it. I have fallen behind on the chat. I'm going to have to jump to the bottom, I think, in a minute. Oh, geez. Yeah. Oh, wow. Fallen way behind. Okay. I tried to do that thing of keeping up with the chat again, and that's not working, so. Is it too optimistic to hope they just don't make the 2 dull, bad episodes for the next Doctor Who series? So what you're referring to is the fact that they're doing 2 fewer episodes for the season. And like, here's the thing. I understand the perspective when people say, well, it's okay because they'll cut the filler episodes. But the thing is, unless it's a serialized product, unless it has just a story that's continuing, like every now and then you have to do an episode to just eat up time, filler episodes aren't something that you can tell in advance. You have however many episodes you get, and you pitch the ideas, and you pick them, and you don't know what's going to end up turning out good or bad in advance. So I don't know why people think it means like, oh, well, we won't get something like the Saranga Conundrum or Arachnids in the UK because there's fewer episodes. Like, no, we could still just as easily get those. I don't know. What's your happiest memory? I don't know that either. Some revolution of the Daleks news is coming out tomorrow. What do you think it'll be? I have no idea. Like, look, people, seriously, I enjoy Doctor Who questions. I'm bad for speculation. You can't. You are wasting your questions when you ask me, what do I think will be blah? Or what do I think should be blah? It's not something I can do without going way out of my way. And sometimes I'll do that for a video. But when I'm going off the cuff here, I can't come up with speculation off the top of my head. That's not how my brain works. I still love y'all. But come on. Get on my wavelength, please. What's your... Oh, no, I saw that. Would you touch upon the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, don't know what to really call it thing? No, I will not. I will not touch on it. I have no opinion and nothing to say. Thank you. All right, I gotta jump down to the bottom. I'm gonna miss a whole bunch of questions. I'm just gonna accept that, and you may have to re-ask your questions again, because I tried to keep up, And now I'm so far behind, I'm looking at questions from like 10 minutes ago. Your different ropes for different kinds of mornings TikTok is iconic. Thank you very much. Yeah, the TikTok has been interesting and bizarre and kind of trippy for me. Have you watched the Flash Season 3 musical crossover episode with Supergirl? I did. It's one of the only episodes of Flash Season 3 I have seen. I don't remember it that well, which probably isn't a good sign. I've been watching the Behind the Sofa segment on the Season 19 box set, and it's wonderfully delightful to hear Peter Davison, Janet Fielding, and Sarah Sutton do the commentaries. Oh, that's good. It's nice when people like seem to be having fun doing the commentaries, because that's not always the case sometimes. Most of the Bond themes would be in contention for best movie songs. Ooh, that's a good point. Skyfall's really good. Oh, thank you very much, Peter Rain. Probably butchered that. Happy Trans Awareness Week. Who do you think will be the Doctor in 2034? Me. Thanks for the positivity in these strange and often toxic times. I do my best. Have you played any Uncharted games? Yes, I played Uncharted 2 and 3. Enjoyed them both, like the second one a little bit better. The third one was like more of the same gameplay in different settings, so I didn't really feel the need to like track down the first one, and I don't have a PS4, so. What kind of phone do you have? I have an iPhone 10. My daughter's mother recently upgraded to a newer iPhone and was lording the camera over me. See, the thing is, I could probably, I use my phone for so much, I could probably write it off, but the problem is that, like, I'm the I don't need to get a new one, the old one still works kind of person. That's my mentality. So, like, until my phone starts getting, weird. Sorry, I almost used a term that I know. It is not an awful slur in the U.S., but I know it is in the U.K., and I have a lot of U.K. viewers, so I'm trying to be careful about that. Assuming that it doesn't, like, go absolutely nuts and stupid on me in terms of the software, or if I don't, or until I drop it, I'm probably just going to slog through with the one I've got, even though I've earned an upgrade by now. I don't know. Let us hope that we never get another Crazy Steve-esque Batman in any other new Batman incarnation. Oh, Crazy Steve. I'm the goddamn Batman. I couldn't imagine ever playing Uncharted 1 again. It's one of those games where the quality gap between the first and second attempt is so vast, it's shocking. I'd heard that. I can't verify it, but I'd heard that. You think your phone is old? Mine has a T9 keyboard. Oh, dear. Yeah, I've still got Galaxy S6. No particular reason other than it works. It still works fine. Yeah, like, that's the thing. People are like, oh, but you could get a new one. I'm like, yeah, but the old one still works. Like, I'm the same with cars. I tend to just, like, I don't understand people who just get new cars every few years. Like, trade the cars they have in and get new ones. I'm like, but the car still runs. Like, I will run a car into the ground. Then I'll get a new one. I'm the exact same way. I only own one pair of shoes and a pair of dress shoes, both of which are over 6 months. Remember how awesome the slider phones were? I never had a slider phone. I remember how cool the flip phones were. Never had a slider. You want a Tony for your performance in All Dogs Go to Heaven. What's your reaction? Oh, well, see, like, you have to be trained for an awards reaction. So, like, you have to practice at home so you can be all... And, you go up and you look humbled, and while in your mind you're going, yeah, damn right I won. Suck it. You mentioned you won't talk about Dollhouse in a video. Why not? I'm assuming you mean Joss Whedon's Dollhouse. Two reasons. I'm not really in the mood for talking about Whedon right now, largely just because I don't want to look up what's gone on with him lately, and then have to process that. And I know some people say, well, you don't have to. I'm like, kind of person that I am, I kind of want to know if, like, new crap has come out. I don't think it has. But then the other thing beyond that is I barely remember Dollhouse. I saw both seasons. I never rewatched them. And for me to do a video on Dollhouse, I would have to go back and rewatch it again. I didn't like it enough to do that. You didn't win a Tony for your performance in All Dogs Go to Heaven. What's your reaction? Oh, well, that's where you have to look like, oh, they made... You have to look like, oh, they made the right choice. Yes, no, that's who should have won. Whereas in your brain, you're going, mother... Oh, I hate you all. I'm going to burn this place to the ground. Will you ever review The Boys? Not unless somebody pays me. I don't like Garth Ennis. I feel like I've said this a lot at this point. I don't like Garth Ennis's writing. Welcome Home Frank was about the only thing he did that didn't lose me by the time it was done. Thank you so much, Cleopatra. Love the outfit, my trans sister. My favorite is cosplaying as Jade from Mortal Kombat, but tucking sucks. If you still tuck, and you haven't already seen my video over on the Vera Wild channel about On Femme and their gaffs, they are crazy comfortable and hold a tuck a lot better than most of the stuff I've tried before in terms of just gaff underwear. So give them a look. They're very good. I almost never tuck anymore. I have a dick. You got a problem with that? Are there any sports movies you like, despite not being interested in sports in general? Yes, A League of Their Own. I like that movie a lot. I think my yeah, bit of my false lash kind of slipped into my eye there. Have you talked about One Day at a Time yet? What, the soap opera? or is there something else called One Day at a Time that I don't know what it is? I recommend Coastal Elites. It's an Amazon for rent, $3.99. 5 people doing monologues. Dan Levy's character talks about queer rep in movie and theaters. Well, we'll see if I remember that. Joaquin Phoenix walking up to the stage stone-faced. He knew he was winning. I mean, like, I think we all knew. So, Benchwarmers or Wayne's World? Never saw Benchwarmers. You people love doing either ors with movies I haven't seen. Where's the mug from? I want it. It was a Christmas gift? I need to do my Christmas shopping. Crap, I gotta get back to that. I've only finished a few people. Who's your favorite classic Doctor? Probably Troughton, still. If you watch Star Trek Voyager, what are your thoughts on Neelix? I never really watched Voyager. I saw bits and pieces. I had a girlfriend in high school who liked it, but I never saw enough to really form an opinion on anybody, really. I like 7 and 9's cat suit. Sorry, not sorry. Someone brings up All Dogs Go to Heaven. I instantly think about what happened to the girl who voiced Anne Marie and feel sad. Yeah, that was that was sad. Do you consider non-binary and gender fluid people as part of the trans community? Sorry if you've answered this before. I do. Not everyone within the LGBTQ plus or trans communities agree with me. And some of those people who don't agree with me have made that opinion very clear and said it very loudly and very rudely at me. But no, I do. Because, and if you look up most textbook and medical definitions of transgender, it means identifying as a gender that is not the one you were assigned at birth. I was not assigned gender fluid at birth. Pretty sure you weren't, you or someone else wasn't assigned non-binary at birth. So, in my mind, that's still trans. You have transitioned out of your assigned gender into something else. Just because you didn't transition to the other binary gender does not invalidate you as a trans person. There are people who feel that only binary, medically transitioned people with dysphoria are quote-unquote real trans people. I won't name names, but yeah, there are people within the trans community who push that idea from very large platforms, and it is harmful. And I don't like it. But I consider you to be trans. Like, there's a reason that I will describe myself as trans, but I don't ever say that I'm a trans woman, because that I'm not. I'm not a trans woman. Because a trans woman is someone who's transitioned specifically into the role of a woman and adopted that as their identity and their truth. Well, I say adopted. That is their identity and their truth, and they are now living it. But while I am trans, I am not a trans woman. I am frequently feminine presenting. I'm frequently feminine feeling. I'm not always. I still consider myself to be fluid, even now on, testosterone blockers for 4 years, almost 5, maybe? No, 4 years. Testosterone blockers for 4 years and 9 months now on estrogen. I still consider myself to be gender fluid, which is also trans. Or at least supposed to be. There was a question that I saw roll by that I'm going to go back. Oh, opinion on the vegan teacher on TikTok. I will say I've gone out of my way to learn as little as possible about the vegan teacher, because what little I have seen, I took a very, very harsh disliking to. If people don't know or aren't on TikTok, I don't recommend looking this person up and giving them any additional attention. What little I have allowed myself to see of her and the opinion she puts forward and the disdain that she seems to hold anyone who isn't exactly like her in, no. Okay, here's the one thing I'll say for anyone who has no context on who this woman is. One of the things that she said was that she said it is braver to come out as a vegan than as LGBTQ+, and that coming out as LGBTQ+ is an inherently selfish act and therefore is not as valid as declaring yourself vegan. So, we'll leave it at that and move on from her. Hang on. Gotta get back to it. Thank you very much, Kara. My significant other came out as gender fluid at the weekend and gave me their new name. Oh my gosh. That is wonderful. That they were able to share that with you. Oh my gosh, that is wonderful. Tips on helping them through it. Pronouns are still unsure at the moment. I mean, the best thing that you can do is just be there, be open, and be prepared to roll with shifts. And I mean day to day in terms of their own sense of gender, but also as they figure themselves out. And it may happen that, they may say something or ask you to do something or ask you to stop doing something that is in contradiction to something that you talked about, heck, even the day before. You need to be prepared to roll with that, because going by my own experience, there's going to be a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation, a lot of, well, how about this? And then realizing, oh no, actually, maybe not. So I think that would be my recommendation, and just to listen. So, whatever guidance that they give or whatever they ask, give it as best as you are able to. That's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with me. I really mean that. All right, got to jump back to the bottom. Do you hope Captain Jack is in the New Year special? I do. I was kind of annoyed that, he didn't come back at all in Series 12. One Day at a Time is a sitcom that has a lot of Latinx, LGBTQ plus rep and touches different social topics. I've not even heard of it. Huh. Who would you rather play on Broadway, Jack Skellington, P.T. Barnum, or Charlie B. Barkin? I feel like Barnum would be the most fun. You caught me in an angsty mood, I might say Jack. I'm debating writing a Doctor Who fan story about a time loop, not like Heaven Sent or P.T. Barnum's right now. Hey, if you want to write a fan story, write a fan story. Don't debate, if you have an idea that you're like, I don't know if I should write this, just write it. Just write it. All it costs you is time. Have you heard of the Telltale Games Back to the Future game that essentially acted as Back to the Future 4 through 6? It's pretty awesome. I've heard of it. Telltale's thing never really jived with me. So, Kiss, Marry, Kill. Wilf, Donna, Jack. Oh. Okay, so Mary would be Wilf. Can't remember what term you used for the second one. Shag, I guess we'll go with that, would be Donna, and Kill would be Jack. And I know the cop-out is because Jack would come back to life, but the thing is, I feel like he'd be fun at first and then he'd annoy me in person. Does anyone else think you're sexy? I don't know. Ask the room. I can't speak for other people. You should definitely watch One Day at a Time. It's really the first sitcom that I've seen that has a non-binary recurring character. What's it on? And also, it throws me up. I'm not... It's pretty rare that I go in for sitcoms. Is it weird that the character I play in my series is the least developed out of the four main ones, mainly because I still have no idea what to do with them? No, actually makes sense to me. You can have One Night Alone with Adam Driver, John Oliver voice. Crush my toes, you unwashed buffalo. Oh goodness. That has been a trip. That's been a journey, that thing. The Animaniacs reboot is coming this Friday. It is! To Hulu! Which I don't have. So, I won't see it. Have you seen Hamilton more than 3 times on Disney+? No, it's still just the 3. I've been doing other stuff as opposed to rewatching things that I have already seen. What do you think authors should keep in mind when writing a gender-fluid person? Is there a trope you hate in that regard? I don't know if there's too many tropes around gender-fluid people because there's so little representation of them. Generally, if you're dealing with a gender-fluid character, you're dealing with like a demigod or an alien or something that isn't just a person. I actually can't think, I haven't personally seen any gender-fluid human gender fluid characters in media. I haven't. But the closest I've seen is like questioning characters, like I think his name was Sam, the kid in The Riches. So I don't think there are necessarily tropes that you need to watch out for. I would say the best thing to do is to speak to as many gender fluid people as are willing to talk to you. Because I cannot imagine that my experience as a gender fluid person is in any way definitive or representative of everybody's. And I actually, one of these days, I gotta find some other gender fluid people to talk to and like compare notes. Cause like I have plenty of people I know who are binary trans or who are non-binary or are demisexual or what have you. But I have one friend who might be gender fluid, but they don't really firmly identify that way. So like I don't feel comfortable just asking that. But I don't know. What's Frobisher in other than Holy Terror? Bunch of comics, and there's an audio called The Maltese Penguin, which I haven't heard, so I can't vouch for that one. Shag, Marry, Kill, Howard the Duck, Darkwing Duck, Daffy Duck. Oh. Shag, Daffy, Marry, Darkwing, Kill, Howard. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the used chewing gum that sticks to your shoe. I am Darkwing Duck. That was a good show. 3 seasons of One Day at a Time are on Netflix. Well, I'll add it to my watch list. No promises about when I get to it. I really cannot be starting anything new that I haven't been commissioned for because I'm so far behind on commission reviews. It's embarrassing. Who's worse, Jar Jar Binks or Gurgi from the Black Cauldron? Gurgi, because the film mercifully killed him and then brought him back. Like that is what was really cruel about the Black Cauldron. He was there, he was awful, he died, and then he came back. Damn it, Gurgi, you can't even die right. Spit when I said that. Oh my goodness. Have you heard that Darkwing Duck is potentially getting a reboot on Disney Plus? I did hear. I'm waiting to hear if they're tying it into the new DuckTales or if it's going to be standalone. It's all right. Thank you for giving it a chance. Well, thank you for bringing it to my attention. Kiss, Marry, Kill, The Absorbaloff, Bating, and Zygon. Have to use each option for each character? I'm not even entirely sure what you mean by that. When did this stream become a game of Kiss, Marry, Kill? What's worse, Ghostbusters 2 or Ghostbusters 2016? Ghostbusters 2. It's way worse. It's not even close. I don't like Ghostbusters 2016 that much. But it's better than that. Rewatched V for Vendetta on November the 5th. The fact that V and Evie were dancing to Antony and the Johnsons left me with questions. I don't know them, so I don't know. If you're getting at something specific, I don't know what it is. What are your thoughts on Hallmark Christmas movies? I'm sure they're lovely for other people. If I ever do another drama class, I'm going to request to do the Zygon inversion speech for my scene. Ooh, bold. The sad thing is that the Absorbaloff wasn't funny, but he was played by one of the funniest comedians in Britain. I've heard that. Have not seen the evidence. I'm gonna give a break on the Shag, Marry, Kill, folks. It's been fun, but I'm gonna break on that. Favorite New Who musical moment. See my go-to answer is a cheat, because I love the song My Angel Put the Devil in Me from Daleks and Manhattan, which is done as like a big showgirl number, which I love, except the version they do in the episode of the show is sung by the actress who's putting on this terrible fake New York accent. I'm a country girl. Oh God, it's awful. The soundtrack version of that song, sung properly, is amazing. But I don't like it actually in the show nearly as much because of her voice. My God, so bad. I doubt it, but did you listen to my audio series? I have not had the time, so no, I have not. If someone was to make a movie of you, what would be a better title than Council of Geeks, the movie? I don't know. It depends on if you were trying to go cheeky or poignant. I feel like the poignant name for my life movie would be The Scenic Route, because that's my life. Taking the scenic route to get to wherever the heck I'm doing. Do that Tallulah impression again? No. Doctor, put your hands in the air. You heard me? Oh God, it's so bad. Have you watched Batman Beyond? Only bits and pieces. What are your thoughts on potentially getting a movie with Michael Keaton? That's only been a rumor, so I have no real thought on it. Like, it'd be cool, but that's about it. Trans women are a staple in the drag community. Before COVID, that was my second job. How do you feel about RuPaul excluding trans women from Drag Race? I have a lot of problems with that. And like increasingly so as time goes on. Because, look, I have baggage around the drag sort of community anyways, just because I felt very excluded. And, you know, I did, or I tried to do drag before I did burlesque. And granted, like, this is 10-year-old information. This is all out of date, hopefully. But certainly at the time that I was trying to get into drag, it was very exclusionist. And now I identified as cis at the time, but I was being excluded because I was engaged to a woman. So the thing that was being used to keep me at arm's length was the fact that I wasn't gay. I understand that drag performance and drag culture is rooted in gay cisgender men. I understand that's where it comes from. But as an art form, I do not buy that as a justification for excluding people who aren't both of those things. And that's before you even get into the weird politics of drag, where like there's drag houses and you need a drag mother to introduce you. Otherwise, you can't get booked for frigging anything other than amateur shows, no matter how good you are. That's not to say that I was the best thing ever. I wasn't. But, and then I feel like the excuse, and I'm going to call it an excuse. I almost called it a rationale. It's not. This is not the reason that trans women are excluded from drag, but it's the excuse given for why they are. It's the idea that they somehow have an advantage because through facial feminization or hormones or whatever, they already look kind of like women. And so they have some sort of advantage over cis men who have to do more work, which is absurd on multiple levels. Number one, there are plenty of cisgender guys with very feminine features. And there are plenty of trans women with masculine features. So first of all, you're stereotyping. So there's your first problem. Second of all, drag queens don't look like cis women. Trans women, day to day, for most trans women that I have known, their goal and their hope is to be passable as a cis woman, which is not the same thing as a drag queen. Drag queens do not look like the kind of thing that trans women are trying to look like in their day-to-day lives. And it's the same reason that, honestly, cis women have as much right to be drag queens. I have known cisgender female drag queens who were amazing. The look is so over the top and so constructed. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your base starting level is. You have to do just as much work for the makeup and the outfits and the hair, no matter what you start from. That's one of the two rationales given. The other one being this sense of appropriation of quote-unquote gay culture. But drag by its nature is already appropriative. It's appropriating of feminine culture. And it's kind of hard to justify that other people can't take part in your already appropriative art form. And drag is an art form, don't get me wrong. But come on. I went off a little bit there. More than I had intended to. Can't watch as I'm due to work in 5 hours. Oh, well, thank you very much. Oh, God. See if I can try and say this. if that's how it's intended to be pronounced, if it's meant to be pronounced at all. Sometimes with these names, I don't know. Thank you very much, Sock Puppet Mogwai. Have your thoughts on the Timeless Children or the pre-Hartnell Doctors changed any, and how or why? Not really. I still hate the Timeless Child. I hate especially that it's the Doctor. I hate that more than anything. The fact that there are pre-Hartnell regenerations, I still don't like it, but I've kind of gotten over it. That isn't actively bothering me as much. I've just kind of sat with the idea for a while. I'm like, whatever. I still don't like it, but it's like, it's harder for me to justify that, but I still hate that the Doctor is the Timeless Child. I have a hard time seeing any scenario in which I stop hating that idea. And I am going to try and wrap it up soon. Tallulah's actress, Miranda Rayson, is currently a 6th Doctor companion in Big Finish. Not until the newer, aka more expensive stuff, unfortunately. Oh, interesting. Audio, 6th Doctor or 12th Doctor. Well, the 12th isn't on audio yet, so I don't know how he does there. Scenario, Clara's confirmed to return under Chibnall's run. What's your reaction? Is your Hellbent Take-Two review as passionate as your ranking worst Moffat episodes review? Tune in when it drops and find out. A Council of Geeks live stream without a passionate rant is like a bicycle without its wheels. I have a better title for your movie. Either This Is Me or Wild. Favorite performance from a Doctor Who actor outside of the show? Um, hmm. Probably David Tennant in Jessica Jones. All right, I do need to wrap up, and you have bombarded me with questions. Ah, uh, I'm actually gonna try and have one of my characters sing "Devil in Me" for her origin story. Interesting. If you had to travel in Bill and Ted's phone booth, what historical dudes would you pick up? I don't know. They'd have to be English speakers. I don't have the patience. Forgive me for not knowing, but why are people saying fire Chibnall? Because they're bitter and they don't know how to deal with anything other than to scream, "Make it what I want!" Would you want a Doctor Who musical episode? Not really. The lead singer is a trans woman with the most incredible voice, so the fact that the band exists in the V for Vendetta universe would suggest that she didn't survive. Oh, dang. Ooh. So my doctor was in a bit of trouble recently. You could say he was in distress. Ben? Don't push it. Think I might have missed it. Did you get to the Discord? Oh, jeez. Ah. Oh God, Carolyn, you've been yelling at me. I'm so sorry. You know what the problem was? Like, and this is an excuse. This is. Oh God, Carolyn, I'm so sorry that you had to yell at me. But the last two times that we've done it, it was the live reactions stuff. So I got out of the habit. Okay, sorry. Questions from the Discord, then I need to wrap up. Even though Moulin Rouge is one of my favorite movies, I always try to understand why someone may not like something I do. I can completely understand why someone will be turned off by the editing and the cover songs, but I'm struggling to understand what it is about Christian you don't like. Can you explain further? Christian's a shit! He's a manipulative, judgmental asshole who thinks he knows what love is and doesn't. It's obsession at best. And he puts this woman on a pedestal and treats her like garbage. The instant she does not live up to his ideals of what love is supposed to be, he's an entitled prick. He's a creep. Do not like him. Are you planning on watching his Dark Materials Season 2? I didn't even finish Season 1. I know you watched Season 1, wondering if you'll review Season 2. See, the thing is, I did the first, I think, 4 episodes of Season 1 because I was commissioned to. I didn't keep going because I didn't care that much. What do you do when you feel like you're burnt out or lost the joy in content you used to love? Could use some help in regard personally. So, I'm assuming you mean in content creation. And that's see, unless you share my squirrel brain, I may not be the best person to ask, because the thing is, I usually have so many projects going on and so many things I am literally in the middle of doing that if I'm not feeling something, I'll move to something else. If I'm not feeling shooting, I will edit. If I'm not feeling editing, I'll watch something that I need to do a review on and take some notes. If I'm not up for that, I will do some writing. If I'm not up for writing, I will put on an outfit and do a little self-photo shoot. If I'm not up for that, I'll go for a walk. You know, the list of things that I can and will do with my time is so lengthy. I haven't ever really hit the point of burnout with everything. So I don't really know how to answer that. Again, just because of the way my brain works, I may not be the best person to ask. Just noticed that Tennant was in Call of Duty World War II Zombies. Somehow it sounds like his accent is stereotypical Scottish. Oh my goodness. That's not somewhere I would have expected him to turn up. Okay. I think I'm done now. Okay. Ms. Wicked Wolf, I see you. I see you with the Hercules mulligan. I'm not gonna do it because I can't do that bit as well. Let's see. I have discovered my doctor being not caring about their appearance and just wearing pajama bottoms, a white hoodie, sweatshirt, and a pair of Vans. Whatever works. Thoughts on the Abominable Bride episode of Sherlock, particularly the twist at the 1 hour mark? I kind of liked it. Like it's jarring, especially for what the show had been up to that point, but I kind of liked it. I haven't rewatched it in a while, so I can't be more substantive than that. But I don't know why, but in recent years I've found Matt Smith's Doctor more forgettable. Is that weird? I don't know. I mean, well, first of all, thank you, randomness. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's unusual for your opinions to shift with time. How they shift will vary. That just kind of happens. What are your thoughts on the TV show House starring Hugh Laurie? It never got truly bad, but it started declining after season 4, American TV. Who's more powerful, Bruce Almighty or Bill Murray from Groundhog's Day? Well, Bill Murray can't actually do anything. He's just stuck. He doesn't actually have powers. Vera, pay attention. Oh, God. What am I missing now? Oh. Carowin, I think you might have to punish me later. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any suggestions, one, trying to come out to a partner? Do you think that doing it through an email or letter to hand him is too impersonal? That's really difficult to answer. And I think a lot of it's going to depend on you as a person, and also your partner, who I'm going to refer to as him because you do in the question, so that's me kind of presuming. But if the nature of your relationship, either you personally or how he'll be able to process, you think would be better facilitated by doing it that way, then like it's a viable option. I wouldn't tell you not to do it. My general recommendation with coming out to anyone who you aren't completely confident in what their reaction will be is to, if possible, have someone else who does already know in the room. Not necessarily for the whole conversation, but initially, basically as emotional support. But of course, that begs the question as to whether or not you are out to anyone other than your significant other yet, which obviously I don't know. The thing is, there's no guide on how to come out. There's no right or wrong way to do it because it's going to vary depending on you, what works for you, what you are comfortable with, and also with the people you're coming out to. And you may have to adjust how you approach things depending on what they're like. And these things are all so specific to your experience in your life that it's hard for me to give general advice because it is the true proper answer is going to be so personalized to you that I can't give broad advice on it other than just think on what it is you want to say. If it's easier for you to write it down and hand it to him, or to write it down and read it off a letter so that you know your thoughts are gathered, that's something you could do. If those things will help, then do them. And if you think it's going to throw him off that you're doing that rather than talking to him, explain that in the email or the letter as well. Say, this may not be the way you want to hear this, but this was the way that was most comfortable to me. Like, let him in. That's going to be the big thing. Coming out to someone isn't just about saying to them, hey, I'm whatever it is you are. It's about letting them in. Not just on your identity, but on your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts. So, however you choose to come out is absolutely fine. Depending on what it is, you may want to include an explanation for why you're doing it that way if you think that that's something that might throw them off. But you're still allowed to do it however is going to work best for you. I went on for a while and kind of circled the same points. I don't know how helpful that was. I'm so sorry you had to ask the question so many times and that Carolyn had to yell at me. Thank you again, Carolyn, very much. I don't know if that helped, but I hope so. And I wish you the best of luck. I really do. However it goes. It's going to be scary, but I will hope for the best outcome for you. So I think I need to wrap it up. I need to do a quick check on something here. Let's see. So I'm just making sure that I didn't miss anything. Oh, thank you very much, John. I knew there was a super chat I missed. Thank you very much for that. Why are you dressed up as a Wonder Woman? Because I can. Okay. Yep, we're gonna wrap it up there. Oh, you're welcome. So I hope everyone is staying safe, especially in a lot of parts of the world right now. We have to go back to drastic measures in order to do that. But remember that no matter what you are going through, no matter what is going on, no matter how alone you might feel sometimes, I want you to remember that you are beautiful, you are valid, and you are loved. You are the council, and I only run the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned.